with Storm Shields, that one does take the totems. And then for objective support Space Marines, there's one standard unit of Intercessors, able to put their sticky objectives down on a point, and this time there's 2 units of 5 Infiltrators.
What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Hobby. It's Wolf Brother Mythos, and this is Wolf Brother Hobbies. Welcome to tonight's video. It has been a very warm week here, and so I am feeling just a touch warm. I see you two are very warm, Charles. Too hot to play. 91 degrees yesterday and 83 today. It has definitely been a hot one lately. So definitely relax, you know, scroll the YouTubes and just game whenever it's comfortable, my man. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. Uh, it's another interesting week for me. Um, in fact, we'll probably do a slightly shorter show tonight because uh, I ended up working last night until about 4 a.m. and still had meetings to go to today, and so I've had a little bit of a nap, but it's not like that good deep sleep, you know? So I'm going to probably wrap it up a little early. Plus, I need to be up a little earlier anyways, because I got to be up to take my oldest daughter to work in the morning. So she goes in early, early. Friendly neighborhood inquisitor. Hello, how are you doing? Just a little spoiler alert, a little peek ahead in the show. You guys know lately we've been doing Channel of the Week, just referring people helping build the community and, promoting other channels. And one of the three channels that I've chosen this week is Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor himself. You can see him down in the description below as one of the channels of the week. I'll be referring to you of, but we'll take a look at his channel a little later. And yeah, just he is part of our Enter the Wolftime challenge or collaboration event. And yeah, it's a good time. It's always great seeing progress on his channel. And there's definitely some cool painted stuff on his channel. Hobby Anxiety, Bo Paints Minis. Ah, yes, hobby anxiety is something we've been talking about lately because uh, I often, especially like storied characters, named characters, characters that I have a lot of respect for, those often can be very intimidating models for me to paint. And so uh, I had, when the model first came out with the Prophecy of the Wolf, I bought Ragnar Blackmane. But after reading his novels, I was like, uh, oh, absolutely. But after reading his novels, I was just very intimidated and couldn't find myself. I was like, I don't want to mess up this paint job, especially since there have been so many memes of the older sculpt of Ragnar not painted very well. Essentially, and this is a bit of vanity on my part, I didn't want to turn into one of those memes. All right. It looks like my partner in crime and friend, the miniatures paintbrush, is here. So if you'll give me just a second, we're going to connect. We're going to connect on another level. No, we're just going to go over to, I'm going to go to the starting soon screen real quick just to turn my camera off, and we'll get it set up for the double camera. Yeah, we'll get rolling with the miniatures paintbrush. Let's see. Logitech camera. Deactivate. My camera is gone.
Hey, um, So sorry about this.
Oh, there you go. There you go, brother. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had the screen widened last time. Let me fix my screen capture. We'll do a little shrinky shrink. We'll fix it live. Or like that meme, we'll do it live. Uh-oh. Aha!
Speaker.
No? I cannot hear you again.
Settings.
Yep. The only thing that came through right then was settings. I'm not sure. That's so weird, just like one word slipped through. We'll do it live. Yeah, but you're both more likable than Bill O'Reilly. Hey, you actually got my meme. I love it when people get my references. It makes me feel topical. All right. I am. Let's see. We're checking my settings. I don't have you muted on my end. Maybe if we crank you up a little bit. Nothing. You know, this is always super tricky. Streaming, for some reason, is never an exact science. I can tell you guys there's been many times where we've done similar streams like this. I won't have changed any settings from week to week, but all of a sudden I can't get it to work. Kalimvir, good evening, brothers. I built my Logan yesterday. Very satisfying when you assemble the big pieces at the end. Very cool model. I am glad you mentioned that. So I took this week and I did a priming, just a big priming party this week. Or it was like over a couple of days, so party may not be the right word, but it was a big priming event. And primed the whole box set plus a couple of vehicles, and I was like, should I take the time to build and prime Logan before sitting down to paint the whole army? But you say it's a very satisfying build. Maybe I should take the time to do that so I can get all the building out of the way for the moment and then jump into the painting. What you do is that's exactly why I did go to the max. Put him to the max. That way he blows out our eardrums when he gets into work. TMP. I know one of the things that has worked for us recently is the turn it off, turn it back on method. So I'm going to try calling you right back. If you can hear me, I'm not sure. Okay. We'll see if calling you, dropping the call and calling back helps. Because I don't know, that worked the last couple times. We'll see. Boop. I just hung right up on him, chat. I just hung right up on him. Let's see. Will it help? Okay, all right. No?
Yeah.
Hey!
I'm gonna be out of here.
Well, so there was sound just in time for us to hear that he was out. I don't know what happened tonight. Well, that's so funny. It worked for that split second before he got off. Oh well. Warp communication is always tricky. Exactly, exactly. Oh, hey, he's back. Can you hear me now? Can I hear you now? Nothing? Can you say something? I feel like I'm playing Phasmophobia again. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Nothing? Can you hear me? That's what happens when you don't pray enough to the Omnisci. Have you tried turning the Emperor off and on again? Hey, that's a fan theory that might work, actually. All right. We need the collective prayer. Everyone pray to the Omnissiah. Everybody break out your incense and oils. Okay? And a collective prayer to the Omnissiah. Say something for me, Rob. Oh, wait, you're muted. Oh, no, your headset is off. Yeah. Okay. Do you know that your headset is off? It's got the little icon there. Don't turn them on. Apparently, you'll have to deal with the Grey Knights if you do. Can you hear me now? You know what? I haven't considered. What if it's my settings? I've just noticed my screen is not lighting up like I'm talking. That could be a thing. Okay, let's try that. We're going to take everybody through my audio settings. This is pure content here. Okay. Input. Okay, looks correct. Mic check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Okay, so it looks like I'm registered. Oh. Oh no, you guys! I think this is me. I think this has been my problem the whole time. Can you hear me now, brother?
Yes. No. No, you're not.
Yes, I can hear you.
What did I do wrong?
That wasn't you at all. That was
Oh.
that was this guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so on the weekends I have to mute myself in Discord to push to talk for D&D and Vampire. It's just a Discord rule, and I had forgotten to switch it.
Oh, okay. I was going crazy, like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong?
All right, so what we're gonna do, chat collectively, okay? Collectively, chat. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna roll the intro again, and then in the morning after this uploads, I'm gonna cut out the first 15 minutes of me being a technical goober.
Oh no. I came in late too, so I mean we're both at fault.
It's all Meet those 30 minutes earlier. I never change my settings. Also meet those. I change my settings for D&D. I'm a complicated person, okay? All right. We're going to roll the intro, fam. We're going to do that again because I hit the wrong button. What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos. This is Wolf Brother Hobbies. Definitely a technical source of knowledge of your streaming setup on the internet. With me is my amazing and illustrious host,
Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush. Hello, friends. How are you?
The Miniatures Paintbrush. It is a great source of painting knowledge on the YouTube, including hobby hacks, painting tutorials, and more. You go check out his YouTube channel.
So much appreciation to let my humble channel grow. Thank you.
So, this week, we've got a plethora of things to talk about. Actually, it's just going to be a chill hobby chat catch-up and plan of attack, a battle plan, our action, because we are past the preliminaries. We have built our models. The priming has begun. It is in our 90-day collaboration event to get it all painted up. The battle has begun, fam. Caleb here says, "Good evening, brothers. Always perfect connection on these streams." Exactly. This guy knows what's up.
Right.
With no editing ever.
Never. It's all good in the hood.
All right.
So how was your week there?
My week was, it was a work week. I was telling, theoretically, if I happened to be on 15 minutes ago, I would have been telling the family that I worked last night and still had meetings today during the day. So, I've had a little bit of a nap. Lily let me catch a couple hours between work and stream tonight, but yeah. So, but I may not stream as long tonight because it has been a rough week and I'm a little worn out.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, I'm actually feeling pretty good. It might just be the coffee in me at the moment.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh, I still have Grey Hunters, Hunting Wolves, and characters to go with my second box. Then I'll get to priming.
Ooh, nice.
So we have a nice plan of attack there. The Grey Hunter. It's funny. I feel like I did the best in building the box for me, because the Blood Claws are the trickier ones to build. And so I built those first, and then Grey Hunters was like, "Oh, these are a pleasure to go together." And then I did the head takers, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, these are a treat." And then I got to the characters, and it's just like you don't even really need to look up the parts because it's one sprue with the characters, and everything's kind of obvious where it goes. So I was just like,
yeah, it's really great. Yeah, all my models kind of went together pretty wildly. I mean, I have my little janky one too.
We both have our moon. Friendly neighborhood quizzer. As for me, I'm about to start painting my sector robots in a minute. So I mentioned earlier, Friendly Neighborhood Quizzer is part of our collaboration event. He is the rival, the enemy, the Thousand Suns in this. So he is our Maddox to our Ragnar.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, that is cool. He's working on his army box for the Thousand Suns, and I got to play a little role. In his picking the sector robots. I forgot what the other option was, but he did 2 polls in 2 different chats saying what should he paint next for his army box, and both of them came out as ties. And so then he kind of asked he said in our chat, "I'm trying to debate between these 2 things what to paint." And I'm like, do the robots. The robots look so freaking cool as long as, they're out of the GW paint scheme, because I'm not a big fan of the color choices.
Yeah.
But he was like, he said that comment was literally the tiebreaker. I'm like, sweet.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Kale, go ahead.
Have you seen his Thousand Suns? He posted up in the group there.
Yes. And I watched the video. Come to think of it, I don't think I've gone back and left a comment yet, because I was watching where I was able to stop and type. But I need to go back and leave a comment. Other option was the Exalted Sorcerer. Thank you for... I was totally blanking there. Kalenbeer says, "I built the Blood Claws last in the first box. That was a bad idea, but now I built for a specific list, hence why I built Termies in between. Since hunters are meh, I have little motivation. I now have little motivation." That's understandable. I think so. I put together my first 2,000 points list of what I want to do with the battle box, and I think I'm going to run them as 2, because they're basically, with the exception of the additional chainsword, they're basically the same loadout as an intercessor. And so really, with bolter in one hand and chainsword in the other, you could really kind of even balance them between intercessor and assault intercessor. But I'm going to be using mine as 2 5-man intercessor squads just for that sticky objective. But they'll have that cool look and flavor of the Grey Hunters in my first
Sure.
list. So that's
Yeah, absolutely.
So get the best of both worlds. Sticky objectives, but the cool Space Wolves look.
Yep. And then they have objective control 3.
Yes, Grey Hunters do have Objective Control 3. And since you got
Yeah,
to take
so
them
it's great.
in a 10-man squad, that's like whatever you put Grey Hunters on, it's just going to be a solid 30. There's no going to be any sneaking that objective away from you.
Yeah. Sometimes Hellblasters. I mean, I don't know. I have always had trouble with Hellblasters. Once they're screening, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Hellblasters are very good at Overwatch too. I've used those to
Yeah.
delete things that just move up into my range because, at always double tapping, and if they, hit, they get and they were standing still, they automatically wound because they got the, well, I always put a lieutenant with them. So, yeah, that just makes them a great Overwatch tool.
Absolutely.
Got in 3 28mm Russian officers walking. I was thinking, and I know that's dangerous. Me too. That if mounted officers lose their horses, do I just lay the officers on the ground, pretend that they're standing? That's a good question. Also, that Discord link doesn't seem to work. It tells me it's expired. Thank you for letting me know. I know every once in a while that thing's got to be refreshed. We can take care of that real quick.
No problem.
You guys are going to look at the Infinite Void for a minute, and then actually what you're going to be looking is my Discord settings. Create invite. Use the copy button. We all saw Ahsoka. You saw nothing.
Uh-huh. I love Ahsoka.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. So, hobby-wise, what you been up?
Oh, hobby-wise. So I have primed the entire army box. And I was saying all week, I'm going to take a picture and do a video, and I could not get to it this week. So instead, I'm just going to show you blobs of black primer that you won't be able to see any detail because they're all just black void. But got all my models painted. The blood claws, the head takers. Again, I'm just showing you black blobs. I don't know why I'm doing that because nothing will read. But also, so in addition to the army box, I finally primed up my kit bashed rescues here.
Nice.
So there's the Land Raider, and you can't even tell that the front has been fixed with plastic card now. I love how when you kit bash something, that primer layer just ties everything together.
Love that. What kind of loadout are you going with?
So I have the options to go either Redeemer, if I want to, but I'm probably, because I want more ranged anti-tank in my list, I'm going to go the Godhammer Last Cannons.
Nice.
And then I've got my Executioner here that was rescued from a Bits Bazaar here in town. And it was very unskillfully assembled. I'm not going to talk trash about the seller, but we all build at different, skill levels, and there was missing pieces and massive gaps. But thankfully, a little TLC, and I'm pretty sure the majority of all the gaps are covered. And now with the primer coat, it all looks unified. Almost like an intentional model now. So.
We do not browbeat over here at Wolf Brother Hobbies.
And nor does he browbeat over at the Miniature Paintbrush. We try and keep it hobby positive here.
So are you done with the hobby progress? Can I share
Yes.
mine?
Oh, please do. That was literally all of my progress was priming.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I went vacation this week and last week. It's the second one. I know I'm spoiled. But I just came back yesterday and I formulated things. I set up my airbrush, which was giving me problems because my airbrush was very much clogged. And it was the part where the air comes in from the hose. So I had to dismantle the entire thing, have a sonic cleaner, clean that up. Airbrush is running just as good as new the day I bought it. So that's set up. And I've already primered quite a bit. And what I do is I do 10 at a time and then so this way I can see the ocean of troops coming at me. So that's all I've gotten done this week, simply because I just came home last night. So trying to get a lot of stuff done and didn't have a lot of time. So I get having a rough week there, Brother Mitos.
Yep. I think we all taste it from time to time for sure. We got a view of something on playback. Oh, I just had to pop up on the other screen for a minute there to share the Discord link. But we got it back now. Sound is fine though. That's good. I am glad the sonic clean. I need to get a sonic cleaner too for cleaning my airbrushes, but I'm glad the sonic cleaning worked out.
Yeah, it was really interesting. See, I take airbrush cleaner from Vallejo and fill it up with that. Angel Gilderaz from Vallejo actually does that, and then says just leave the water. It's not really water, the cleaner solution the way it is, and you can clean your airbrush multiple times using that. So I took and it scared me because I took an entire tube that it came in. Dumped the whole thing into the sonic cleaner. I was like, oh, what am I doing? The whole thing. And then it took like 1.5 ish. And it was Vallejo airbrush cleaner. They actually sell it. They sell the thinner, they sell all kinds of things. But yeah, that was and he really warms it up too. Like it heats it. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
I know. I'm just having fun with the sonic cleaner.
I have been kind of eyeballing sonic cleaners for a while, just because. I mean, stripping minis like Inquisitor, friendly neighbor Inquisitor says there, it's really great for that, but also cleaning the airbrush. I'm so out of space for more hobby gear, so that's why I haven't pulled the trigger to get one yet. He said, friendly neighbor Inquisitor says, we've got sonic cleaners at my job. Every day I consider bringing my minis to strip into work with me. I don't think the company would appreciate me using the sonic tanks for Warhammer, though.
So do you bring in the stripper to work? Like the tube of stripper?
Because, sometimes you've got bring your kids to work day, bring your stripper to work day. Yeah.
Bring your stripper to work. There it is.
Bring your stripper to work. That's how it works.
Paint stripper.
X Gear commit. Happy freaking Friday. Hope you're doing well. It's funny that if it'd be even funnier if Ashley was here because we have a running joke about how I would take Greg and we would start a hobby shop where you could go pick out your models, and you can play with your models as much as you want while you're at the hobby shop, but you can't take your model home with you.
Right.
Yeah. Bring your stripper to work day. That'd be the next thing, that I should tell Greg about.
You heard it here first. We're starting a trend.
Which is even funnier. And this is nothing doxing brother Greg because he says it on his live stream all the time, but he's a manager for the neighborhood where he lives. So if he brought his stripper to work, he would also kind of be bringing them home.
Paint stripper.
Paint stripper, in case my
wife
is listening.
Absolutely.
We're talking about paint strippers.
Yeah. Oh goodness. So yeah, that is the extent of my Wait, no, I am bringing things into the hobby room. I have the entire paint rack set up, and I just started rearranging the TMP studios over here with a couple of pieces that I have. So it's growing.
Caleb
What
here
I'm
says, "Wait, there are other kinds of strippers."
no, no, it's only for paint. That's it. We have hobby minds around you. In any case,
I apologize. My voice is um, if my voice is a little off tonight, or if you guys hear me kind of uh, clearing my throat a few times. I have been sick as a dog this week.
oh, I'm so
Uh,
sorry.
I went to G Dub's Saturday. Oh, I did. I forgot to mention that. I went to G Dub's Saturday and to
Nice.
grab the mini of the month, the free mini of the month,
Oh,
which this month is a Blood Claw. And so I got an extra Blood Claw. And many of you know, because I've been talking about it for a few weeks, but I'm doing a pack of 20 Blood Claws. And so getting the extra one does something really neat. Having 21, I can build one of those in my second box as a pack leader, so I can have
mhm.
the option to run 2 packs of 10, or with the addition of this guy, run 1 pack of 20, and they'll still be WYSIWYG. So it'll give me some choice there. So I know your jump pack captain was your last picture. What is the new picture? We'll find out in just a few minutes when we do our YouTube channels of the week. Um, which I guess this is a good time to transition to that because we're done with our hobby update. I have really no media. I finished Grey Hunter. That's a little bit of media. I finished Grey Hunter. I've started on Wolfblade now, and so now I've gotten the chance to reintroduce myself to Torvald and Hagier, which is cool. Very cool, guys. I forgot about his little French style pencil thin mustache um, on Torvald. That's pretty cool. I might go to the nearest Warhammer store Sunday for the mini with that same reasoning. Very nice. So when I was there, my GW manager mentioned to me that they had sent him a ton of the blood claws for this Space Wolf miniature of the month. Um, and apparently they're doing that at a bunch of the stores because they're anticipating it being really popular with the painting lessons and whatnot. So you should still be able to grab one when you go. I'm going to the store tomorrow so I can order the new Centos model. Centos? Centos? I know there's a new Pedro Cantor coming out tomorrow.
Eh,
um, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Anyone in North? Ooh, I did also see while I was at the store. So Centos, as you guys know, it's the 200 store anniversary, and can't stay. Be well, everyone. Have a great and wonderful night, Charles. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Charles.
So anyone who goes to the store tomorrow, and while supplies last, you'll get in the U.S. We'll get a pin, a Warhammer pin to celebrate. There'll be uh, Botan tomorrow, of course, for pre-orders, but there'll be the new Centos tomorrow. But also, I think it's if you spend 3 bills or $300. If you spend 3 bills, there is a super nice, again, while supplies last, wooden dice tray, well made. It's like the same kind of quality of the Wormwood dice trays, but it's
Oh,
like nice finished polished wood. It's a little dice tray that comes in 2 sides. So if you can have it one side, it's got the rows to store, I think it was 4 sets of dice, 5 sets of dice. And then on the other side is just blank and open, so it's a spot to roll your dice in. And it all clicks together by magnet. And they're actually like sturdy magnets. The manager was sitting there shaking it and it wouldn't come off. he had to actually like intentionally pull them apart. Really, really nice dice trays. So a couple of my friends at the store are already like, okay, I'm coming for my dice tray Saturday. I'm like, on one hand, I was like, guys, that's really cool. But to myself, I was thinking, man, it must be nice for me, these friends here. Just like, I could go drop $300 for a dice tray this Saturday.
Nah, no thanks.
Like I said, it's cool, and especially if you were like, there was something intentional you were going to go buy anyways, right? The new
Then
Saturnine
you get a
box set.
bonus. Right.
Yeah, Saturnine, the new Space Wolf box. I know some of the stores still have a few. Um, I found one store recently that still had a Black Templars new in box, which was pretty crazy.
Ooh.
Army box. The original one in the all black cover with just the logo on the front. That was pretty cool. Nice. I always forget you have the Black Templar stuff. That's so cool. But yeah, so like if they were intentionally already going to get something around $300, that might be worth like, okay, well let me toss in a little something extra so I can get that dice box. But
Right.
to just be like, I'm going to go spend $3 so I can get the dice box on Saturday. It's like,
No.
that's dedication.
I think that's one of more of the accidental things. Like, oh man, I spent so much at the Warhammer store. Oh look, they gave me a good dice box. Check that out, bonus.
I that's how I feel every once in a while when I accidentally spend one bill and I get one of the little, coins, that they get you for spending $100. So I'm like, ooh, sweet, happy accident. All right, so I'm so easily sidetracked. So, channels of the week.
Alrighty. Would you like to go first? Or would you like me?
You know what? I always enjoy leading off with your picks. So feel free to give me a name, and I will pull it up, good sir.
Alrighty. Again, sorry for the last minute. Trying to get on my household.
Oh, you're good.
El Miniturista.
Ooh.
A
man, myth, and legend in one.
Oh yeah. Are you familiar with his work?
Oh, I am. I followed him on
work is stunning.
On Instagram. Yeah, absolutely.
I asked him to adopt me. I'm weird now.
If you don't know who El Miniturista is, he is definitely the king of glow effects for sure. We're going to come over here to our articles and art tab. We're going to click on El Miniturista, and there's the page. All right.
His work is absolutely stunning. He uses inks to do an underglow, and he does that in feathers as well. So that's something I'd like to try to do, is to use more inks. I have plenty of inks, but I'm not using them in different ways. Like I'll have a set way to use said product, and I like branching out. I like having more options. So, he is definitely inspiration.
On some of his one of his fire effect tutorials I actually ordered, and I am very easily inspired by media, by the way. But I actually ordered recently some of the liquid pigments from AK Interactive, based on one of his tutorials. They're the War Game enamel liquid pigments. And one is called Fire Breath, and the other is Yellow Acid, or Acid Yellow. And he sometimes, so he'll start with a black, I mean, you've seen his recipe a lot of times, but he likes to start usually with a black base. He'll brighten up with white inks, then he'll put down like the fire red, then he'll brighten the tip of that with a little more white ink, and then he'll go in with the acid yellow, and it just results in a really kind of glowy looking fire. And I'm going to try my hand at replicating that.
Yeah, definitely. I have another channel, which is called Major Kill. If you're familiar with them. Major Kill has definitely a unique way of presenting Warhammer lore, and it's that shorter format. So, a lot. So yeah, he's been on other TV shows, and he's blowing up.
This is usually I like the things you bring. This is, I think, maybe the first one I'm just like, I haven't even heard of this guy before. Interesting.
The guy's pretty amazing. Very, very entertaining.
Wait. Okay, now I got beef with this guy. Is Rylanor overrated? What? What? All right, cancel him. Get him out.
Be right back, okay?
All right. Is Venerable Rylanor overrated? I'm upset. Let's see. Space Wolves, Galactic Vikings, or Degenerate Furries? Okay. You know what? I can be both. Jeez. Yeah, so a lot of interesting stuff here. Astartes 2 Space Marines. Ooh. I didn't know there was any lore and whatnot out for Astartes 2 yet. I've seen this dude on Instagram. Oh, cool. I haven't, like I said, I'd never even heard of him before. I'm going to get the new Votann eventually, but Centos is limited edition, while Votann aren't. I can get the new Votann anytime. True that. Especially, like you do fantastic work with your Votann, but definitely seems like you are on a Chaos Marine and Space Marine kick right now. And when you are focused again on, Votann, I'm sure you'll be, focused again. I feel like we share in that, when we hyperfix on something, it's like it holds our attention for quite a while. So, I got canceled again. That's right, you did. Talking about Rylanor like that. Why Bjorn the Fell-Handed is an absolute beast. Okay, maybe you can be okay. We can be cool, I guess. All right. All right, so that is Major Kill. Oh, actually, I'm going to throw him a sub real quick just so I remember to come check out some of his videos. And if I still want to cancel him later, I absolutely can.
He's certainly out there with his opinions. He actually designs minis too. Oh, cool. He's in a lot of things. Yeah. I think he even does supplements because he lifts weights. So.
Very cool.
Whole bunch of things.
Brother Thomas is working tonight, but he had a recommendation for us, and his recommendation was Cult of Paint.
Oh, yes.
And
EOP.
Yes, and this is one of those channels I love to watch. This, you can see right here, I've actually watched this Wolf Spear video a couple of times because I really like the helmet and spear he uses for this. And if you've read the Ragnar Blackmane novels, on the planet Fenris amongst the tribesmen, spears are a big part of their culture, especially if you are one of the tribes that lives at sea, like Ragnar is, and Styrbjorn and Sven are all from the island, tribes. And spears are a big part of that because in order to make their boats, they have to either kill whales or water dragons, and they do that by they wait for the beast to surface and then they spear them to death. In fact, one could even argue that at the very first time you see Ragnar, he cast a spear as a mortal human into the eye of a dragon, in the exact same way, foreshadowing where he would later throw the Spear of Russ into Magnus's eye through the warp. And so,
Cyclopean.
Exactly, exactly. So it's very good foreshadowing. And anyways, I always felt like spears should be more incorporated into the Space Wolves army, like weapon wise and stuff like that. So
So
it's very cool to see that done
especially
here.
you have the sea wolves, right?
Oh
That
yeah,
would go
exactly.
perfect. That would go
Ex
perfect.
exactly.
Yeah.
So some cool work here from Cult of Paint. Also, they did this Iron Warriors paint job here, which looks really, really good. They do it with like a dirtier yellow, which, like looking at it here at the finished product, it looks great. But when he was like, yeah, actually, I don't go any brighter than this dark mustard yellow, and I'm like, for hazard stripes? But like when you see the
Yeah.
end results, it's like, oh yeah, it looks good. Like I don't know why I was questioning this dude.
Try something risky, and he came out.
Uh,
So,
I
is
go
the
ahead.
dirty yellow more like rotten banana? My shirt, kind of yellow.
It is very yellow. It's a nice what's the
I chartreuse.
chartreuse?
Yeah. And the reason for there's a reason. For this. I go out after dinner with walk, and we walk on the streets. So I wear high visibility clothing because my daughter's out there. That's why the shirt never came off.
Very
When
nice,
I was
very nice.
yeah, come
I,
back from
ju-
the walk. I'm like,
I
oh my
just
gosh,
I just
I got
thought
the show.
I just thought the shirt was an intentional pick to show off, the rippling physique of the hobbyist beneath. Uh, I always found it weird we don't have spears as weapon options. Oh yeah, actually, even though they were stat wise very bad in seventh edition, I had power spears on I think all of my Thunderbolts at one point, just because it felt thematic and I thought it was cool. Now that everything is just generic power weapons, there's really no reason why you can't have spears, as a power weapon in your Space Wolves army.
Until GW decides to
Yeah,
change it for 11th edition.
yeah. And then you're just gonna have to say this spear accounts as, sword or axe or whatever.
We're truly at their mercy. Damn it. Why do you have to put such great products out?
All right, my pick of the week is going to be Hubtown Hammer. So you guys know I've played a lot of Custodes this year, and that was kind of basically my army this year until this Space Wolves project. And this is a channel, and I know you'll see a lot of like Grey Knights and Salanders out here, but this is a tactical channel mostly devoted towards the Custodes, and there's so much good information. And I kid you not, this channel taught me how to play my Custodes when I started them this year, and um, they're just very good tactics, very good breakdowns of the units, what to do with them, how to play them, and you can see there's like my favorite ones, and I don't know why, but I can listen to this guy talk strategy and it stays interesting. Sometimes I'll have on like the Trajan Valoris deep dive while I'm at the gym pumping iron. I'm like getting my reps in, and just also I think it's good for my ADD to have my brain focused on the tactics while my body is doing something kind of monotonous. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, so like the way he breaks down information is so good and easy to absorb and understand. I definitely felt like I spammed his videos. I got one or two beginner games out of my way, and then I felt competent to play them throughout the two narrative events that I played, the narrative event and the narrative campaign I played in. So um, it is a very good breakdown of information, and if you ever go to a competitive channel, sometimes we're like, this is the right way, the one way, the only way to play this because it is the most optimal. Don't play anything other than this most optimal way. And this guy doesn't do that. Okay, you can see he gives you options. Like if you want to play Solar Spearhead, it's only technically like the third or fourth best detachment. But if you are going to play Solar Spearhead, here are some ways that you can play it in a competitive list, right? And that's kind of what he does. And typically when he does his deep dives, he's like, this is, okay, here is one of the options, and that is clearly going to be the best way to take Valerian. But here are how he works in all the other detachments, and here are some ways that you could run him. So, like, he is very good at breaking down the information and making you understand it, which I think is, a lot of people don't understand there's two parts to teaching. Not only the teaching the information, but making sure it's able to be received by the listener.
Absolutely, differentiation.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it all the time.
Yeah, so I just definitely recommend as far as tactics. I would love to find somebody who spends this kind of time and attention on Space Wolf tactics. Because I'm not
It could be you.
It could be.
It could be you.
And maybe I might try. I'm not a super like competitive player, so I'm not sure I would have the skill set to do it, but I could definitely give it a go.
You could definitely. I could see you putting together lists that are just punishing, and you going to the game store and say, "Hey, I have this. I have a tournament. Mythos in the GT. We'll have people in the corner coming in like Rocky. He's coming down the aisle, or WWE wrestling superstars. Like everybody's Mythos, me.
I'm the only one who comes into the tournament with theme music, and that's the only way. It's the only way to arrive at the tournament is with WWE entrance music.
I walk around with like music playing. It's just the way it is.
They're at their own mercy for allowing us to put whatever weapon we want with the generic profile. This is true. Could be
until they bring the points back.
It could be like Grand Theft Auto and just be a power weapon that is an adult massage device. Yeah. I don't recommend mixing Grand Theft Auto into your Warhammer, but if you were so inclined, you absolutely could do it that way. Hello there.
Hello, Katie. Say hello to everyone. This is my daughter.
Superstar in the making.
That's right. He definitely wants to be a superstar.
Okay. We were 2 weeks ago. I was at my niece's birthday party, and her parents used to have an old YouTube channel, years and years and years ago, and it's just that Saints Row with the adult power. Oh, my bad. I really feel like that was a weapons choice in like Vice City or one of the older GTAs. But anyways, so we're at the birthday party, and apparently at some point my niece had found her parents' old YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And she was like, she confronted them. She's like, "Wait, you guys used to be YouTubers? You guys used to have a YouTube account? Do you know how long I've wanted to be a YouTuber?" She was super serious.
Wow, that's awesome.
She was just like affronted, like,
how dare you?
Oh man. And then so Uptown Hammer, great. And then of course the final YouTube channel of the week is, of course, like I said earlier. Oh wait, I need to refresh this because there was a picture change. There we go. The new Reaver Lieutenant. Very cool, which looks so 40K with the melted candles on the backpack. I love that you've done that with all of these Heralds of Armageddon. This is his custom chapter, by the way, is Heralds of Armageddon, if anybody wants to check it out. Also, you can see here, Rubik's and more with Wolf Brother Hobbies and the Miniatures Paintbrush, as he is part of our collaboration event. So, I have been saying all week, that I was going to put out the first video for the Wolftime and start the playlist. But like I said, I was sick all week. So I will probably do that over the weekend, and we'll get that ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So, what can you find on Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitors channels? Something that I admire and I would love to start incorporating into my week. And every week I say, you know what? I can start doing a hobby vlog as well. Wolf Brother Wednesdays. We'll bring back Wolf Brother Wednesdays. And every week Wednesday passes by and I'm like, I get demotivated so easily. I'm like, well, I've missed Wednesday. I clearly can't do the hobby update. But okay, so you can see he's got a great assortment of hobby vlogs here, and he takes you through literally everything he's done. So there's his, you can see his Primaris Reaver Lieutenant there, but also you can see his progress on his Rubik's, the Hobbies Thousand Suns Battle Force box here, the Heralds of Armageddon, Heavy Intercessors. So he's literally taking you along the journey of all of his hobby updates. Check out this full army showcase for the Astral Drakes. That is a sizable force there. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. You can see his, we were mentioning earlier, he's got new Votann stuff, or well, he's got a Votann force and he will eventually get the new Votann stuff. And you can see a little few glimpses of his very cool Trans-Hyperion Alliance, I believe is the name of the faction he's playing. And that nice vivid orange armor. You know what? With that orange armor, I think it would be so cool to see like construction style hazard stripes every once in a while. I think that'd look really cool with that armor.
I'm looking at the stream and I don't think you're showing the pictures.
You know what? I am not.
Okay.
I switched it to Katie a while back, and this is the sound settings from earlier all over again.
Oh, I was like, wait a second, I don't see the pictures.
Oh my goodness.
You're so passionate though, so it's hard to. It's like, should I say something? I need to say something. All right, here we go.
Oh man. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, I kept saying, yeah, you could see here, you could see there.
Right. I was looking, I'm like, am I missing something? Did I do something wrong again?
Is he having a stroke?
Yeah, right.
Hey, Cookie. Are you coming up to enjoy the stream? All right, so here, as I was mentioning, you can see his very cool Primaris Reaver Lieutenant here. Very grim dark with his candles on the backpack there. His Rubik Marine Progress, Battle Force built, Heralds of Armageddon. His Astral Drakes here, which is a nice sizable force. And his Trans-Hyperion Alliance. Are you okay, sweet boy? Lots of cool stuff here. And he's got basing tutorials for his forces. Glowing crystals. He's got some cool Tzeentch bases he's doing now. Lots of cool stuff. He's got Necrons on his channel. Yes, you are very sweet. Here's his Tzeentch world, although he is going to be filming an update for it. So, lots of cool stuff. I love his new Heralds of Armageddon, but I also really love the color and the flames he does on his Astral Drakes. So cool. So definitely check out Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. He is down in the description below as one of the YouTube picks of the week this week.
Oh, yeah.
And we are back with my co-host, Cookie the Wookie. Votann Codex leaked, surprising no one. Yeah, at this point it would be more surprising for a Codex to come out that wasn't leaked.
Right.
Cat!
Yeah, that's done on purpose. It's all marketing.
I would say it's to build up hype, but for some reason, even the codexes that come out that are like they toned it down and underpowered it still get leaked. So, like, sometimes I'm like, that doesn't seem like it was very good for building hype.
Here's a brand new box with only one new miniature, but you can spend $300 for it. But hey, get a dice tray.
All right, so um, I am interested to know how you, Rob, plan on tackling your boxes since you're doing two, much like Kalimvir there. But also,
Well,
like, in general, how, like, this is a topical for Inquisitor as well. How do you tackle large projects? So, this is my dilemma here. And I think, just in general, a good hobby discussion on tackling large projects, because sometimes a too large of a project can be demotivating, right? And I I know that I've already painted up Ragnar, and what makes the most sense is to paint the blood claws that are going to go in his squad with him to go with him. But then, like, I get excited about head takers and character models. I'm excited that I have tanks to paint. You
nope.
know, what is the right way? Or should I even worry about squads? Should I just go ahead and airbrush all of them at once? Although I feel like I might start, I might need a breakdown for cleaning between all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely, because if you spray paint too much, then water, because of condensation inside the canister for the airbrush, will start working its way up the tube. Before you know it, you'll have water spot. You ever
Fair.
had water spotter?
Oh,
It's a
yes.
it's a nightmare.
Those are
Um,
two things that I feel like are like probably the worst for or not ruining, but like taking you a step back to where you're like, okay, I need to strip this and start over when you're airbrushing. And that is
right.
the sputtering that leaves texture from, like you said,
Hmm.
the condensation. You don't want that texture on your mini. And also for a similar reason, when you accidentally over thin and it starts spider webbing on your miniature, and you're like, once again, now I've got texture. Like, oh,
Right. Exactly. So I try not to do too many miniatures all in one shot because I usually, I don't know. My last one was 86 5 miniatures to paint one project. So that the best thing that I do is do 10 at a time. So I'll set 10 at a time and just set them up, line them up, prime them. And then when it comes to putting details in, so once I've gotten the base coat and highlights and a secondary shadow light from the bottom, I I just started doing the details. Now I'll take one miniature out and I'll do the highlights and I'll do everything. And he's special to me because he's different. I modeled him especially different with a different head. Everything was intentional. Um, so I paint him all the way up into completion. I don't look at the waves. I don't look at the waves. I don't look at anything else. So then for the following 5, I do the same thing and I take the care and I take the time. For the next 5, I'm twice as fast. I'm doing exactly the same quality as the first 5. By the next 5, I double it again. So it gets exponentially quicker. And before you know it, I'm just knocking out like 3 models a day. Like I just start the train rolling. But it just takes a while to get into that first one, get into the mindset. I think the longest part for me is what colors can I use to achieve the goal that I want? How can I show off where the light is coming and where the light is bouncing off of? Those are the two things that are major with it. So when I'm planning in a large project, if I know exactly where the light's coming from, I know exactly where the highlights are. I'm going to know exactly where the shadows are going. So it comes quicker and quicker and quicker and just steamrolls. And I get the dopamine shot every time I finish a model. So if I'm doing a model with 85 miniatures or so, well, I get 85 dopamine hits. That's not too bad. That's TikTok air. All right. So yeah, and I'm just watching the entire arm
Man,
Oh,
that could have been such a great tag for the, which I totally forgot to change the thumbnail for, or the title for tonight's
oh,
stream.
this one.
But that could have been a great tag for the title, because that is, you're right. I think indecision paralysis is probably what slows down your first several batches of models. But once you get the muscle memory of, I know what I'm doing with every decision, like every decision's already been made, you just start
Yeah,
going through it
it's
faster.
automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just automatic. So it's like
Uh,
a train. You got to get it up to speed.
our friendly neighborhood inquisitor says that's what I typically do is, if I'm painting a squad of 10, I paint the sergeant to completion, then I batch paint 4, then I batch paint the last 5. Very nice. I think when I initially asked how do you approach a big project, he says, oh, it's easy. It starts with self-loathing.
It can seem that way, for sure.
I can't do this.
Right? That's how you begin. No. Quite the opposite. You just have to say, hey, I'm going to get this. And I don't like time limits. It'll get done when it gets done. Family, I have obligations, and a lot of things come before my very, very sacred hobby time. A lot of things come, responsibility, stuff like that, come before the hobby time. So when I get to hobby, oh, I enjoy everything. Nothing is drudgery. Nothing is drudgery. It's like I am doing a belt book. But who did that belt book? I did. Yeah. And it came out nice. I celebrate the small stuff.
I get that way a lot when I'm batch painting. Not that way. I get the opposite of that. Or if I'm batch painting, it's like at first I was enjoying painting all of this, but now I'm just ready for this particular project to be over. And so like I'll get to where I am not being as detailed as I could be. Like the beginning of the project will be much more detailed, and then by the end of it, maybe there's fewer edge highlights towards the end, or there's fewer like or fewer highlights in general, fewer blends towards the end.
Yeah.
My biggest enemy is that I get new ideas when I'm in the middle of an army, then I somehow have to adapt. It's fair. That's fair. In fact, if people will go back and watch some of your previous vlogs, you'll see that is how the Heralds of Armageddon were born. The hard left in the middle of the Astral Drakes.
That's awesome. I think it's awesome when
yes, and
you're having fun.
And I respect that a lot about you, is that you take your inspiration, no matter how far off course it takes you, and you run with it, which is one of the things I love about watching your hobby process, friendly neighborhood inquisitor. Also, I think my ADD respects that. Because I too, every once in a while, but for me, it's literally just my ADD not focusing the way it should. It's just like one detail, and then I can't get that one detail out of my head until it's like a conversation you'll sometimes see on the show, right? Sometimes I'm going to make a point, but then something comes up that takes my mind off track, and I'm going to get to that point eventually. But we all got to take this side train for a little while, and all of this windy adventures, and it will come back here to the station eventually. So,
oddly enough, I'm the exact opposite, where I am needle focused. There's like, I don't get to open up a new box until this is done. And I look at the other box and the other box is like, won't you finish that project already? Come on. I'm like, stop talking to me, box.
Hush, I'm painting.
That's right. That's right. And then somehow I put the box that I'm painting, whatever box that is, I put it up in front of my paint desk as a reminder. You got this project to finish, buddy. What's going on? I think I saw dust fall on that miniature. What's going on, buddy? Don't let two pieces of dust fall on that miniature.
Friendly neighbor Inquisitor. Hey, you've got 3,000 points of astral drakes. Very nice. But what if you strip them all down and make a black and bone colored army instead?
Mm,
That's awesome. Now, like I said, I love that, you are an instrument of your muse and creativity, which I really respect. A lot of people, myself included sometimes, are hesitant to make a change because of what you've already done and accomplished. For instance, I started warming up to the more traditional Space Wolf colors, I don't know, a year or two ago. But I was like, but I've already established 4,000, 5,000 points of Space Wolves in my other color scheme. But that, but it took something like this 10th edition event here for me to go, you know what? I've been wanting to paint this scheme for a while. Let me do that. So
yeah. So you're saying GW did you a favor?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Wait till they give me a Primaris Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf, then we'll talk.
Right?
Hey, that is a great way to look at it, and kind of a money-saving tip, too. I look at it this way. Now I have 3,000 points of stuff I get to paint.
Right. You get to paint it.
It's
It could be in somebody else's.
yeah, recycled painting enjoyment time. The stuff I already have in Primaris in my old color scheme that were like generic Space Marine units that are in my Space Wolves army from before. I've been kind of like, how much do I want to paint them up in the new color scheme or leave them as veterans of the old one, like Hellblasters, Aggressors, things that are just like generic Space Marine stuff. Which, by the way, I think Kale said earlier, I think I missed the comment earlier because of, which I apologize, my ADD. But mentioned, you had to go to generic Space Marine stuff for ranged anti-tank. I wonder why.
Hmm.
But yeah, more ranged anti-tank tanked from generic Space Marines. I wonder why. Yeah, unfortunately, since Frost, Hellfrost is not as strong as the toughness on vehicles these days. It's no longer a viable anti-tank option, so you kind of have to fit in las cannons where you can. Also, because they took las cannons away from our dreadnoughts, the Venerables and Bjorn both used to be able to take las cannons. And also, we go back to pre-10th edition, they used to get 2 shots per dreadnought, so even going down to 1 las cannon shot per dreadnought, it still was very, very good points, ROI. Oh yeah, and they took the long fangs from us. That one feels so
I
bad.
know.
That one
I kind of
feels
hurt.
that was, like I said, that is a Primaris unit that always made points for me. The rare occasion they might get shot out of a building before they got to do anything, but most of the time, like actually not even most of the time, like after I learned to not put them up in the windows immediately, keep them out of line of sight, and then put them in line of sight to do their damage, even if you're doing so at -1. I mean, once I learned to play them better. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, what I really enjoyed was last edition. You could take a ancient with them, and so every time one of your long fangs died, it got to get off one last shot on their right as they died. So doing that with a las cannon just feels great.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
Absolutely.
you killed my long fang, but this las cannon is going to shoot.
That's right. I got across the board, baby.
Yep. So that was good stuff. So When you so you gave me a great overall plan of attack. How do you decide which units you're doing when? Do you start with your troop choices? And if so, since we have two troop choices in this box, how do you know which ones you're going to do first?
I pick up a model, I look at it, and say, "Do you look cool?" It looks back at me and says, "Heck yeah." That's the one I pick. I don't know. I just paint whatever's fun. It's all got to get painted anyway, right? So,
Fair,
and I'm
fair.
not. I'm not going to the store and using the unit. I'll just play with my wife when I'm done painting the entire project. So that's
Fair,
pretty
fair.
much. That's pretty much what I got. I built myself into a corner because she has the towel. So
I am going to be doing something I haven't done in years,
what's that?
and I am actually going to be playing my unpainted army. Because I
Fair.
do want to take my time. Okay, so like we have this kind of challenge to ourselves to get it painted up in a relatively timely manner, but
Yeah.
like I still want to like do a quality paint job on them. So I'm not going to like just speed rush through them. However, I want to because I want to start putting more application to theory on these on the Space Wolf Army. I want to start building up some experience with how their tactics and playstyle work. So I want to start playing with them, and I think yeah. So I'm gonna probably try and at least knock out the base coat of blue, our Amarth blue from Fantasy and Games, and
Great blue.
huh, it is a great blue.
Great blue. Oh yeah, very deep.
Yeah, at least get the very base color on them, just because
Mhm.
it's hard to see the details in primer black, matte primer black, and then yeah, just try and knock out a squad here and there as I can. But I'd like to start getting in reps with them to be more knowledgeable about the army I want to talk about.
There's going to be something different that I'm going to do for this army, and that is I want to have the painting tutorials up sooner rather than later. So I'm going to do one person from each unit. I'm going to paint them up, and I'm going to do a tutorial on that.
Ooh,
And then for the rest of the squads and stuff like that, I'll just take my time and do it. But I think I want to have at least one up. I do not think I'm going to add Logan Grimnar for this particular 3-monther. But he will get painted. And they'll all get painted. Yeah, so because I bought all the other units as well separately.
yeah, I was debating the same thing earlier. I'm like, should I go ahead and build up Logan? And actually, I think the Battle Forces come out tomorrow, so my wife's pre-order should be in. Might just build Logan with that one. I think that'll be what I do. Could focus on this force here for the first round of paint, and then paint Logan with the next round of paint. Especially since I got the vehicles here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Do the vehicles with this set, Logan, and the Terminators with the next set. Especially since Logan will be able to go with the Terminators. Although I've been I've been interested seeing that in competitive lists, a lot of people take Logan separately.
Mm-hmm.
They deep strike him into the middle of the board, put him
Mm-hmm.
behind like some terrain or something, and do that turn one. So that way, whenever they move into the middle of the board, they're very limited on what stratagems they can use in the middle of the board because he's got his aura of making stratagems more expensive. It's very interesting. I'd
Okay.
like to actually see that played out though, because if he's in the middle of the
Mhm.
board, I think it would be easier for people to come inside his 12 inches and just kill him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to have somebody in front of him so this way
So,
they still have a lookout surf. I hope so.
but I see the thought process there because that's kind of what a lot of people do with Mephiston and other deep striking characters like that is uh, deep striking, these really cool chapter specific characters, and just doing objectives and stuff like that, and letting them finish off like you know uh, objective units in the middle of the board or on far flung objectives. So they're kind of using him as like with an extra aura of sabotage, a little bit of that Mephiston lone op kind of thing, which is interesting to see. But like I said, in my head, it just keeps equaling a dead Logan Grimnar, pretty early in the game. So
Yeah.
I need to see it played.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm sure they're doing what's best to win the game, but not very thematic at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
KLMV says, well, actually, what I've been doing so far is get a color on the whole army, and that's kind of what I plan on doing with the blue. See if I can lay it down across the army. And like I do the gray first, then the brown. Was moving on to copper, but then the new minis got announced, and I will start again. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna do maybe the first couple of blues, minus like say the most extreme highlight, and then I'll go squad by squad and start doing like, okay, I'm going to do the details and the other colors on this squad and then this squad. And actually, I think, like you said, Rob, I may not even do squads. I may do 5 at a time, because these bigger squads in the Wolves is going to be a beast to tackle.
For your sanity, I've come with that number 5 is a good number, not to lose your mind with.
Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor says, I still say Logan Grimnar is the best model in the entire Loyalist Space Marine range, including Primarchs. I would agree, my brother. I definitely, I love the model. I love that look and that pose and everything since the statue came out for like a few $100s a couple years ago, and I'm so thrilled to have that sculpt now as a miniature instead of just a statue. It's almost like they were like testing the waters, like how would they feel if we did this? A lot of people though say that the new Raven Guard chapter master is the best looking miniature since Logan Grimnar. I love that Logan Grimnar's miniatures being like the standard now for like, this is what a good miniature is, and this Raven Guard is the best model since that one.
I love the Raven Guard. I really want to do a Raven Guard army, but I have way too many black Space Marines, Iron Hands, Black Templar, and then Raven Guard. It would be bad. It would just be bad. It's the same mini.
I'm going to be really interested to see what your approach is to doing a black army.
No, absolutely. I have some Wolf Priests that came out.
Magnus and Motarian are still the best models in the 40k range. As a whole, though, they're on another level. I think from a technical aspect, yes, but since the vibe and look of Chaos is not my particular preferred flavor, like I can appreciate them from a technical standpoint, but I don't really love the look of them myself. So myself would put Logan at as the top dog.
Yeah, I can't wait to beat them.
That new Raven Guard chapter master is completely badass. I would agree. And Telemachus, good evening, my friend.
Take care, Telemachus.
Or as
thank you for joining us.
Baldermort might say, good evening, gentle listener.
Have you been listening?
Well, I haven't been listening to his channel, but my wife and I have been listening to Distractable lately, which he's the narrator for. So.
Oh, wow.
So I get to listen to Baldermort, Bob and Wade, and Markiplier all in the same place.
Now, is that his actual voice or is that AI?
It's his actual voice. He's got a contract with him.
That's pretty cool.
I still can't believe that's Baldermort's real voice. Exactly. I can't believe that, the ridiculous things that they say on the show with Markiplier Bob Way. They say some pretty out there stuff. And Voldemort has such a very proper sounding voice. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, the things that he says on their show, because you wouldn't expect it from for such a proper sounding voice like Voldemort, I thought it was an act until he showed up on the Adeptus podcast. Oh, that's cool. On Adeptus Podcastus. Oh, that's cool.
Let's check that out.
Yeah. Now I want to see him on Hot Wings now that he's a big celebrity.
Yeah, right.
Even though for some reason they don't do, they refuse to do YouTubers.
Oh boy.
Well, we are. We've mentioned some really great tips today for knocking out a big project. I think having someone who has finished off a couple of big projects, including what did you say, a 6-year Tau project?
6 years of Tau project, everything I could put into painting.
And and what was it, 60 something Skaven miniatures all in one go?
85.
85. So I definitely feel like I have some experience here for people doing some big projects. And of course, we know that some of our friends in the chat, Caleb Veer, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, have done some big projects. And he's not here anymore, but Telemachus, with the smaller scale armies he does, also does some pretty massive projects at a time. Yeah, he needs to do audiobooks for 40K. That would be really cool. Baltimore, yeah. I want to know. So I've been tossing around an idea, and I have the problem is that I very seldom go from, like, when I need to research something like the legality of blank, I very seldom make it from the thought process to the research for some reason. But there are entire channels out there that are devoted to reading books and to YouTube audiobooks. However, that feels like it's got to, like, how do they not get taken down for copyright restriction?
Yeah. There is this one app that I saw. You take a picture of a cover of a book, downloads it, and it reads it to you.
Oh, yeah. So for I guess support reasons, right? I wanted to listen to the entire Harry Potter series without paying any money for it. So I specifically looked for YouTube versions, because I was like, I don't want to support the author. Let me look up YouTube version. And there was plenty of audio. There are plenty of channels out there like, here's the entire book of so-and-so in YouTube channel format, and I was like, it was a very convenient way. Now, some of the readers were better than others, of course, like any YouTube channel, but, it was a very efficient way to get audiobooks that, for books I wanted, and these were big names. And the author for Harry Potter is known to be pretty litigious, so I was surprised that these books had been up for a hot minute, like years, on YouTube without being taken down. But I know copyright on YouTube is very big, so I don't know.
Oh yeah.
What I would love to do is, during some paint-alongs, voice over some 40K lore, but I don't want G-Dubs to unleash the hound, so I need to look at the legality.
I mean, I've done it. And they haven't taken me down. There have been instances, especially with very long, that I say, man, there's only so much of Chaos Black you could put on something and describe you putting down Chaos Black until you run out of time, but you still have video. So what am I going to fill this video with? Well,
That's true.
Go, I have a book, or I have a codex with a story though.
And I did think about that, how you add an excerpt sometimes. But like if I were to say, I don't know, put it in the title or tag the video as, you know, the lore from Grey Hunter as I paint Ragnar Blackmane, you know, as an example.
Yeah.
I've already painted Ragnar, but like just as an example, you know, like, you know, and I'm reading excerpts from Grey Hunter while I paint it, you know, it's like if I tag it, would that be taken down? But at the
It would
same,
be it would be fine, but you have to break it up and comment.
okay.
So you
Oh,
so
so
you're
it's like,
doing a commentary.
okay, I got, you
About
know,
the
that's
book.
like just the same way why people are able to do Let's Plays, right? Because it's
Right,
technically
exactly.
their commentary on such and such.
Right, that's what you come to tune into. That's right. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of that.
Gamers with Coffee Ashley.
Hey,
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 hey, all sorry we were
how's it
late.
going, Ash?
Ah, you are never late because you're family. We're like Olive Garden here. When you're here, you're family.
Hey, oh, forget about it.
Forget about it. Uh, who took my dice? Ultramarines and beyond. Hello, gents. Have a great night. Love to see you all. I would love for you all to go see Steve over at Who Took My Dice Ultramarines and Beyond because he's put up several videos lately. He's been back on the YouTube grind lately, painting
Nice.
up more of his Mobians for his Imperial Guard army and putting out little videos for them. It's great to see his Imperial Guard army coming along. It's very cool. Check out his videos. And like I said, he's so into the theme. And we talked about before about, you know, a competitive army versus really soaking in the lore and the thematicness of an army, right? And he has taken this Imperial Guard retinue uh, from the Mobians from Darktide, and he has really immersed himself in uh, that that place, that theme. Uh, like he's been printing off Darktide terrain, you know, to be his on his little display board where he shows off the army. Yeah, it's very cool to see. I love seeing somebody, just like what we were talking about with the Inquisitor earlier. I love seeing somebody take their inspiration and really dive deep into their inspiration. It's so cool. Actually, I was just mentioning you earlier because we were talking about certain take someone to work days that Greg could be part of if we were to start a new holiday.
Hey,
It would be take something to work. You know, like some places have take your daughter to work. Some places have, you know, take your hobby to work. You know, this could be another holiday like that. You know, take something else to work, and I feel like Greg could really benefit from that. But that's much earlier in the chat. You probably don't need to. You probably don't
yeah,
need to
no,
hear it.
you don't need to see that.
Yeah, yeah. Running Bear. Good to see you, Running Bear. There's a person who
Hey,
has been
hey, running bear.
he has been hustling along on his Space Wolf journey lately. It's been really good to see. And
So,
so he is one too that you know, reasons that, you know, I'm not going to get into, but he had to relinquish a lot of his 40K miniatures at one point, and so he's getting back into the hobby with the Space Wolves army, and it's so cool to see, like, he's just motivated, cranking out wolf after wolf. Take your gamer to work day. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Now I will have to watch the beginning of the show. No, no. You know, you could just take our word at it. It's just a new holiday. It's really, I
Yeah.
mean, it's nothing. It's nothing. But
Besides,
we
the
will
beginning
get
was
Greg
very
signed up.
interesting. Mhm. So, have you ever had anything else in the hobby?
I'm sorry. What?
What's this?
This is Lily's gold medal in breaking her martial arts belt, Tong Sudo specifically. And this is a gold medal she got from breaking objects, you know, blocks, boards, that kind of thing, with different parts of her body, uh, hand, feet,
Just to
knees,
remind you.
elbows, head. And every once in a while, she shows it to me as a husband get right tool. Just a reminder why your wolf brother should behave. I love you so much, my love, and I am a well-behaved mythos. And sorry, and there's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see, but I hear plenty.
This is not the droid you are looking for. That's why Mythos is so nice. I have reasons. I'm a well-trained husband. I've been at this for 18 years. I've gotten pretty...
Oh, man. Bless you, man.
I'm not going to brag, but I've gotten pretty okay at this. No. And if not bless me, bless her. She's had patience for 18 years. I love you. Make sure he's off camera so no blackmail video. Hey, stop giving her advice. Oh, man. Okay.
Have you been able to play any RPGs lately?
RPG. So we played Vampire the other day. Although I only attended half of Vampire because like I said, I was sick over the weekend. So I made it to half, and honestly, I was so hot and NyQuil'd up. I'm having trouble remember what happened.
Those are the best sessions. I'm gearing up for this Saturday.
Lily, we want a video of you whipping him. Hey. That's only on our OnlyFans.
Right. That's the good content.
Hellwork says...
That's behind a paywall.
Hellwork says he's equal opportunity shenanigans.
Yeah, that's right.
Garrett almost died. Okay. I had a question, a hobby-related question. I'm so off the rails now. I don't even remember where I was going.
Well, I have a question.
Okay,
Since attendance is the killer of any campaign, I had one character bow out of the campaign, and I'm introducing new campaign. So my question is, what is the criteria for you to allow somebody else? Because you get some group of friends, you go through things like even trauma bond, right?
Yeah.
So you're a tight knit group. So what are the criteria you would have house new into that tight knit? What is the vetting process? That's the question.
That is a really good question. So for me, it's always been like, I already have these. That is a lie. Actually, I was about to say I've always had these pre-existing friends where we were like, hey, let's get together. But actually, my current group of friends started from RP night. Where, my friend was like, hey, I've got a couple friends. They'd be kind of interested in a game like this. Can they come join the game? And I was like, sure. So I guess right there, reference, reference somebody who gets along with, or somebody referred that, hey, this person is fun to hang around with. They're immersive enough. Because one of the things I think that stops a player from getting together along is if their personalities clash. Like somebody can be a really, and we've had this before where, and not in this group, but I've had it in previous groups, where somebody might be a phenomenal technical D&D player. They might be a phenomenal role player. But that's not what makes the campaign to me specifically. It's the experience you're having with those people, right? And so if your personalities don't mesh, I think that is a big part of it. So having somebody that, I think that can, that's for me the vetting. Is like somebody who's hung out with this person before. I know this person. I think that's all I've ever needed, and it hasn't always worked for me. I had somebody that I got along great with at the game shop. We got them into D&D, and they were a whole different person once they were behind the veil of I'm a fantasy character that could do anything. Well, apparently that anything is be a
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't
and they
realize.
hide behind the veil of that's what my character would.
Yeah, that's what my character would do. I was like, okay.
Character sucks.
character's an a-hole.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if the person is a technical great player of D&D and voice act incredibly. That doesn't matter. Matt Mercer, we're adding you. Do a response video to this video about us in this wonderful channel. And Matt Mercer, you're just being outed right now. See, that doesn't matter. What matters is the heart.
I think like personal chemistry is definitely the top thing for me. Like, and you may not actually know. You know, like I said, I took a chance with somebody I knew from playing Warhammer with them, and I thought they were a great guy, and we just did not mesh up in a role play scenario. And then, and the same thing can happen even with a personal recommendation, like, oh yeah, I hang out with this person, you know, they're my friend from like, you know, 10 years ago. And sometimes that's gone super well. And sometimes it's been like, okay, well,
Want to
that
offend your
was,
friend?
yeah, that was an experience. So it is not a perfect vetting system by any means. But yeah, that's what I look for is chemistry. And if I can't get anyone who is experienced hanging out with them, then one of the things that I've seen other people do that I think I would like to incorporate in the future of vetting someone is sit down to a one shot with them. That is not part of our canon storyline here because, you know, like how to see how they interact with the group. Because ultimately, if you decide not to go forward with this person, it's intrusive to the story to have persons show up one time, be part of a session, and them decide that this campaign's not for them, or if you have to make that decision like, I don't like the way that they mesh with my team, or they're making somebody on my team uncomfortable. If you got to make that decision, you know, I think it keeps it from disrupting your story. So I think having a backup one-shot campaign in your back pocket as almost like an interview process, right? Let's have a test hangout session, you know. And I think it also lets like some of your characters in your pre-existing group burn off some energy. Like, I've had this character idea for a while, but I don't want to kill off my old character to do it, you know. Let's have some fun with
Yeah.
this character idea I want to play with. Yeah, so a little tester campaign to let your previous players kind of experiment outside of their normal character, but also give them the opportunity to interact with this person that you're considering being part of their group.
Absolutely. I definitely have my pet peeves. One would be if a person's on the phone while everybody's trying to put input and you're constantly on the phone. Another one is don't sign up for a D&D. You know you can't make 90 of the sessions. Like, I mean, 90%, 10%, okay, but you can't do the 90%. What are you doing? Wasting people's time. And if anybody wants to bow out of the campaign, that's fine, because that's an excellent opportunity. And I really hope my other, but it's an excellent opportunity to take the person that bowed out, make him suddenly get captured by the group. So this way now you see that person becomes one of the major obstacles, or be almost like one level underneath, like a lieutenant or something like that. The BEG.
I've definitely stolen that. I've definitely used that idea in a campaign before. Somebody dropped
But
from our campaign and ended up becoming a mercenary for the other side.
but here's the twist. At the last minute, there's a redemption arc, and they help defeat the big bad at the last battle, all together like a team once again. You see? Yeah.
Very nice. Kalen
Yeah,
Beer,
so
have
that's
a
why
great
I'm not
night.
disrespecting the person.
Kalen Beer, have a great night. 07 to you as well, sir. So I had one character. This was a White Wolf Invitational. What an invitational is where the campaign invites one character, like it's also known in some genres as a superhero team up. And so this basically you pull one character from each of the different White Wolf books to make your team. So there was a werewolf, there was a vampire, there was, we had a bunch of
That's
people.
incredible.
And the vampire eventually, um, left the their schedule changed to whatnot. They had to leave the campaign. But I took some of their interactions with the team so many episodes ago. For instance, this vampire was an assassin, right? And so they had, they enjoyed the finer things, right? And so, one of the characters that liked to drink, he gave him a flask that was like a vintage, whiskey from, some long time ago. One of them was a smoker. He was a fire elemental from Trinity, where you had like pyrokinesis and aquakinesis,
Oh,
different.
cool.
And so,
Psi powers.
yeah, psi powers. And so he was a pyro and a fire, and he was a fire elemental on top of that. And so he was always smoking, even if it wasn't like something like a traditional something to smoke. It's just he didn't need a light or anything. He'd just be smoking it. Sometimes he wouldn't even breathe on it. He'd just have it. And so he
Right.
got him some really fancy black rolled uh, cigarillos in a really fancy case. And then later on, after I had him turn, I took some of these earlier character interactions that were meant literally as friendly gestures from when he was another player. I turned those into character devices later on, like the fancy cigar case that the one character kept on him is now a tracking device that, and so there was a
Nice.
scenario where they were all fighting in the dark and it was like supernatural darkness. So like, um, like the uh, werewolf night vision or whatnot wouldn't work or anything like that. And
Mm.
he could keep finding them and shooting them in the dark because one of them had a homing beacon on him. And after a while, it took. I was doing blind perception rolls for them each turn to see if anybody picked up on the little like, sonar kind of blip, coming from the party. And later on, it was discovered it was a cigar case, and it was just a big like aha moment for everybody. And later on, they would find that different interactions that they had with this assassin later on would come back and be part of their interaction with them as a villain now.
Yeah, just flipping the script, just changing the tables, keeping them on your toes. That's what you do. Make it exciting, like an action movie.
I also had a Big Brother character, NPC character for them that I ended up killing off halfway through the campaign. They weren't very happy with me about that. Because I knew I was going to kill him off, and so I kind of intentionally built up like personal connections with everybody, and everybody got their like their
Oh
personal time.
no,
And
it's the Aries moment.
yeah,
Darn you, Sephiroth! No.
my wife was so pissed. Welcome back, friendly neighborhood inquisitor.
Hey, hey.
Lily was not best pleased with me.
Have you painted miniatures for D?
Now we're talking about the big and now we're talking about the big sad of Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, right.
Maybe. I have painted D&D miniatures, but I have not actually used them. So the time I did paint them up, and I ordered the one from you, and then you gifted all the others, which was amazing. I was setting up a campaign with my kids, and then my daughter started her summer job, and so we've kind of put it off. And I'm excited to get that rolling again. I bought the Shipwreck Isle, I think, starter campaign that I want to do with them. And now I've got a bunch of cool NPCs and stuff like that I can plug in there. So it is in the works, but I haven't had a chance to use them yet.
So I want to share with you something wild about the miniatures that I gave you for D&D when you bought that one. those were a version of slapshot where I did it with an airbrush and then I paint translucent paint over it. But this time what I did was take gel-based medium paints and I watered them down to almost like contrast consistency way back then for
Wow.
contrast was out. So that's exactly how I painted those. So when I saw slapshot, but dry brushing, hey, it came out. So I can't blame them.
Very cool.
But I use that. I've been using that method. Wild. Just
That's awesome. They
haven't
look
had
incredible. You know what I should do? I should do a little showcase of those now that I.
oh no, they're
Talkable.
terrible. Come on.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. They look great.
Now.
What is
I
your
was playing around with ideas.
what is your idea to Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor? I am excited to see how you might make them look more grimdark.
Want to get that John Blanche set, so do that. Chroma color.
Ooh. Some Blanchitsu. What are we snacking on, brother? You're making me hungry.
I am so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just curious.
Cheeto. My
Nice.
daughter bought Cheetos and cereal.
Mm,
Cheetos.
Cheetos
Not
and
supposed to.
and free rust effects like we talked about.
Oh.
Ah, ha, ha. Very nice. No rust effects.
I learned.
Also, very good chopstick skills.
Oh, hey. Thank you.
It's funny because I just sent a random text to my brothers. I have a chat with my other brothers, and I said, very niche random Asian moment here. I'm sorry, niche random messy Asian moment. I said I was looking at my desk here, and I was like, I have too many chopsticks on my desk. I need to clean up my desk. Because sometimes I'll put the chopsticks down and I'll take the plate back to the kitchen, and for some reason I'll forget the chopsticks. And then I'll come here the next time and I'll set the chopsticks down after I finish eating and take the plate back to the kitchen. And so I did it a couple of times. And I had like 6 chopsticks on my desk one day. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like everything with the hobby creep, right? You take the paint, you there, now next paint.
Yep, exactly.
Entire work area is inundated. It's the same thing with the chopstick revolution, man.
All right, the dead animal bits box is a bunch of severed human hands on spikes and human heads on hooks. Could be adorned by them as a warning for those quote unquote loyal humans who dare to be cowards or doubt the will of the emperor. That's so cool. I was also watching the Pariah Nexus series on Warhammer Plus, and there was a sister of battle who was there was like she had found, well, technically the salamander had found these survivors in hiding because their planet had already fallen to the Necrons. And because they were in hiding and not fighting for their world, they had given up hope. They had, quote unquote, lost their faith in the Emperor and didn't do their holy duty of fighting to protect the Emperor because it was a shrine world. And so they didn't fight to protect the Emperor's shrine. And they were like, we just wanted to survive. We're not fighters. We're not warriors. And they were like, this is a shrine world. Every life should be willing to fight for the Emperor on a shrine world. And so she was considering sanctioning them just because they, quote unquote, had lost their faith or their faith wasn't strong enough to fight on behalf of the Emperor. And so, yeah, like you said, loyal humans who dare to be cowards or doubt the will of the Empire, that fits right in with that Sister of Battle's very zealous mentality.
Yeah.
I keep a set of 5 pair chopsticks in my hobby area. I don't know why I couldn't spit that out. Okay, so my 3 pair definitely doesn't match Hellworks' 5 pair.
No, you have a pair and he has a royal flush.
Basically, the idea is that what if my Emerines were also on some commissar shit? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Drive me closer so I can hit it with my sword. That's one army I never got.
Too little sleep mythos. Oh, yeah, true. True. Speaking of which, guys, we are past 10:30, and I think I can definitely feel my conversational skills are not where they normally are during the
Yeah,
show.
you get some rest, feel better, buddy.
No, thank you, brother. Thank you so much for hopping in and joining me tonight, as per usual.
Sorry I was late.
You are all gravy, baby. Like I said, I'm not. It's no big deal to me, brother. I'm just. It was a pleasure having you to talk to, because
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
literally, I was sitting there and just, I was like looking through the news and stuff like that, and I'm like, I have no idea. My brain just wasn't like figuring out what I was even going to talk about tonight. I was like, well, I'm just going to talk about my hobby and what I've gotten done, and then we'll see where I go from there because my brain was just not braining. But
You see the new Games Workshop? I have to just ask you that question.
the new Games Workshop, what?
Logo. You know, it used to be orange, red, and Games Workshop. It's a workshop.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the classic Games Workshop. Well, I heard, it's rumorville, maybe you can look it up, that they're doing this different font, which is very more adult-like, not there. So very white, black background with white interior. I mean, white letters, and the letters are very, maybe even almost art. So that's really interesting. Reminds me of how like McDonald's went from cartoons and stuff like that to the new McDonald's. Everything is gray and plain and it's supposed to be more. That's what it seems like. Games Workshop.
Interesting. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny because I saw Auspex Tactics did a video on that, I think earlier this week, maybe last week. And he was kind of talking about it. And I'm like, apparently it's been coming up on YouTube discussions and Instagram discussions lately. But it's the same logo that's been there since Warhammer Plus. It's just they're now incorporating it more into like the stores and the new box packaging and stuff. But I
What
guess
do you think
because
about
I like it. It looks more modern, I think. A little sleeker, more modern, and it looks, a little less cartoony, I think.
Yeah.
I think it definitely fits the vibe that, while technically these miniatures are what 5+ or 8+ or whatever. Usually says on the box, right? Like,
Yeah.
but
More
yeah,
minors.
while they are like ages 8 and up or whatever,
Ain't
you
no
know,
8-year-old gonna afford that box you have.
exactly. Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's a less cartoony logo, and it kind of does. It is a while it can be played, painted, collected, played by kids, it's kind of more of a involved and pretty adult hobby nowadays. So I think it's a good move to make it look sleeker, more modern, more grown up, I think.
If I met an 8-year-old that played 40K and played it well, then I'll have to say, okay, so I've just been outdone by an 8-year-old. I'm just gonna hang up my apron and I'll be walking out the store and I'm done. Can you imagine?
Yeah, for
Can you
sure.
imagine getting tabled by an 8-year-old?
Oh man, yeah, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it's kind of it would be like the same thing as getting teabagged on by a an 8-year-old on Call of Duty who quick scoped you.
Oh my goodness.
Happy freaking Friday and wah says the misadventures of Mr. Fish. He's Mr. Fish. Hi, I'm super late to the party tonight. Oh, you're gravy, baby. Glad to see you tonight. friendly neighborhood inquisitor says, "Hey, little Timmy, are you sure you want to collect Dark Elder?" Oh, I have a funny little story to tell you. It's funny because like I like to
See,
think that in some cases I can be a relatively mature and socially um, aware person, right? But also sometimes not. Okay, I had a little bit of a special moment the other day. So I'm at Games Workshop and I'm just hanging out with some of the guys at the shop, chilling, and and I'm hanging out with the guys, and I happen to be standing by the section where their novels are. And anyways, so the bell goes off. The manager, you know, uh, goes up, he does his thing. Welcome to the store. Is there anything you're looking for I can help you with today? And they were a person who wasn't in the hobby, but they liked the lore and the video games of Warhammer and stuff like that, and they were looking to expand more on their lore. They were thinking about picking up some of the books. So he
nice.
brings them back to the different books and stuff like that. And so they're talking back and forth, and I kind of zone out of the conversation at that point, because I'm talking to the guys in the shop. And then for some reason, what catches my attention is, the guy is a a soldier, right? And so, anyways, he's definitely excited about the Marines, and he's talking about the good guys. And of course, he Doc brings up the age old, well, really there are no good guys in 40K. It's kind of the thing.
Right.
And for some reason, anytime somebody says that, for some reason, it just
Salamanders.
draws my attention. And yeah, one person was like salamanders, and I was like, well, okay. Honestly, though, you got to look at it. Like everything's relative. For instance, okay, one does shady things, but they're overall fighting for humanity, and there's another, and their opposite faction literally skins women and children,
Right?
right? And I'm saying, of course, I'm talking about chaos, but for some reason, the dude was there with his wife and little kid, and their kid. I mean, they're like not a little kid, more like 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, preteen kind of age. And anyways, I chuckle and I laugh and I start thinking about it. And anyways, he makes the sale. They kind of laugh it off or whatever. And he makes the sale. The guy buys like a couple of books and whatnot. And then he talks to another customer for a few minutes. But after they clear, I go over to him like, "Doc, I am so sorry." He's like, "For what?" "I just had a socially self-aware moment, and I realized you were trying to make a sale, and I, in front of the man's wife and kids, go, skinning women and children alive." It's like, oh, this could be detrimental to a sale in the future. Oh, Doc was cool about it. He's like, "Oh, you're good,"
Blade Man. If you remember the Game of Thrones, the Blade Man.
Huh?
The Flayed Man from the
Oh
Game
yeah.
of
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm like, I don't know why. I just started talking about this gory stuff, in the middle of him trying to make a sale. And the conversation that I really should have been an A/B conversation. I should have seen my way out of it, instead of dropping them eaves. But for some reason, I just blurt out about, skinning children alive. I'm like, oh man, like it's one thing if they're there at the shop and they're part of the community. It's another thing, like this was a rando that could have just been like, taking my kid away from this.
Right. Yeah. Run. It's like, hey, we're only talking. So why don't you just get abducted one days and yourself? Welcome to Comrade. You may come in. You'll definitely change.
Timmy wants Slanesh Marines. Mythos, are we talking for real or just role playing maturity? No, I can be mature sometimes. Mythos just keeping it real. I guess it was just my ADD. I had the thought happen and made it out of my mouth before the filter could catch. Yeah.
Mm.
if you haven't tried it yet, Pro-Acryl washes are great. I have not tried their washes. I have definitely been on I know, and I use what I know with the washes, but I love Pro-Acryl. I don't see why I haven't tried them out yet. Maybe after
Duncan
maybe after these get used up, I'll try them out.
Duncan Rhodes has come up with a new series of grim dark painting. So it's very selected paints just for that grim dark kind of.
Really?
So it does have that palette. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I don't. Might buy another rack. I don't know.
I was about to say you got to fit in a whole new display now.
No.
That should influence your paint choices. Can I fit this display?
I turned away another display because second. No.
Mythos doesn't filter because he likes to be just as surprised as everyone else. They remind me of the old Citadel shades before the reformulation. Ugh. See, I like that the new ones don't stain as much as the old ones do, though.
I only use them for brush or brush.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good for.
I use them for things that I want to be like. I'll use them for non-pin shading on things that I want to be tinting that on, like not like on the flat surfaces of a Space Marine, but like say on metals and stuff like that, where I want them to look a little dirtier, a little more worn, because metals can be too bright, and I want to tone them down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Or if I want to add like a dirty look to the metal, a more worn look, I'll use the earth shade. Or if I want to make it, to be like slightly, rusty, I might go with the flesh shade or the sepia. I like
flash shade.
I like Speedball inks with the Lamia medium. Okay, so you gave it a try. You like how it's going so far? I just realized now I've been doing a what do they call it? A Minnesota farewell or Minnesota goodbye, where when they say goodbye and then they talk for another 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Oh no, that's not just Minnesota. Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah. Oh no. No. Nolans.
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 All right. I'm blabbering, guys. I am going to get to bed now. Thank you to the Miniatures Paintbrush, Rob, for joining me. As always, please check out his channel, The Miniatures Paintbrush. And, of course, as one of our YouTube picks of the week and friend of the chat here, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, please make sure you check out Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor's channel as well. Some great hobby updates and a variety of content there. So check him out, too. And if you guys like tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below. Feel free to be a part of any of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you're not yet subscribed to this guy, you're not subscribed to our friends down below, then we would love to have you as part of the pack here at Wolf Brother Hobbies. Till next time, fam, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.